Hello everyone. So, I've noticed a trend recently. I've noticed several channels where cisgender um, men have come out and said that they like or and are attracted to transgender women. Now, I've done searches on YouTube for the past few years, looking for people like this, not to, for a date, but just to see if trans attracted men were starting to pull their heads out of their collective asses and stop worrying about what insignificant people think. Basically standing, you know, elevating themselves to the same level as the women to whom they're attracted. Um, and I had not found anything. Okay, I found one video of a bunch of old guys in an airport, and it was an incredibly shallow video. They were chasers. Um, but the videos I've seen just recently, which I've only found within the last few months, no, the guys that I'm seeing now, at least the people whom are talking about it, expressing it on YouTube, um, I I won't classify them necessarily, but if they're shallow, then they're hiding it very well. They do not at all seem shallow. But what seeing this, because some random guy saying some random thing on some random website or bulletin board someplace anonymously is not supportive. I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot. But a guy getting out there, showing his face, and making it very clear that he respects um, trans women specifically and the trans community in general, that means something. Because it's their face out there. When they go out into the world, people are going to see them. If enough people watch their videos, somebody eventually is going to recognize them. And they will recognize that this person is attracted to people like me. And that is them stepping up. Now, unfortunately, at this point, it's only 3. But 3 is better than what we had before. And so I don't think we should discourage it, we should encourage it. I had kind of a back and forth with one of them. I think he thought that I was criticizing him. I took issue with how he worded something and why he worded it the way in which he did. I thought that it was unnecessary, and I still do. Um, but I can't control um, how someone assumes, if they assume my intentions. But anyway, um, it's it's a start, and it's about time that these guys started really being open and honest about it. Because we're out here, we live every day as women, but also trans women, and so we don't get to hide behind, this cloak or veil. I mean, some trans women are passable to the point where nobody knows, and nobody would know. But it's for those of us whom have aspects of us that don't necessarily make us 100% passable. We're out there, and you know, we're taking the arrows, you know. We're the ones whose asses is on the line, you know. And so, you know, when you have these guys who say, oh, I love you and I respect you, but then to have them say, oh, but I would never introduce you to my friends or family. It's like, fuck you, you know. Um, as I said in another video, gone are the days when trans women, um, where we're satisfied with being, you know, your little, you know, your dirty little secret. We're not playing that fucking game anymore. If you want to if you want to be with us, we want to meet your fucking family. You know, if it goes to that point, I mean, we're not talking about the first date here. You know, we're talking about organically. Um, if it gets to that point, yeah. If you tell me, oh, you know, I don't want my family or so and so to think this or to think that, I'm gonna say, well then, fuck off, dickhead. You know, because I don't need that shit. That's disrespectful to me. You know. And if you're a trans woman, I would encourage you not to accept that. Because it's really a detriment, you know. If they're going to be with us in a relationship, then they need to stand with us. It's like if you go out with your boyfriend and some asshole or a group of assholes um, starts picking on you and pushing you around, and your boyfriend just kind of slinks away or he joins them. You know, it's that kind of a betrayal. And that's not okay. I mean, no one would be okay with that. No one. Um, if I saw my partner being treated that way, I would not fucking stand for it. I wouldn't stand by while that happened. I mean, that's against my code of ethics as a human, you know. But it seems like a lot of these guys are just. I'm going to be honest, most of the guys I've met are horribly shallow. And um, I haven't been able to connect with anyone. I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, that's the problem. It's like these guys that go to the trans dating sites, it's like they're all from everywhere else, you know? And half of them don't want to show their face, you know? Oh, look at my pecs and look at my big, you know, package. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck. I have certain things that I find attractive. But that's that's not where it ends, you know? That's not necessarily where it begins either. I don't give a fuck how big your junk is, dude. I don't care. That's not of interest to me, you know? Um, Treat me with respect. Don't treat me like a blow up doll. Be kind, compassionate, a decent human being, just in general, and with me. You know, these are all really important things. Yes, there's physical attraction that things that have to be met there too, you know, just as with anyone else. Um, but yeah. And you know, if somebody's not attracted to me specifically, whatever. I mean, fine. You know, yeah, whatever. You know, somebody doesn't like someone with dark hair, you know, or lighter skin or whatever. Okay, whatever, you know. Yeah, but don't waste my time, you know. Because it's like I would hate to invest so much time into getting to know someone, going through the whole process, and then to have them go, well, you want to meet my family, or you want to go over for, Thanksgiving or whatever. You know, I don't think that's such a good idea because of because they're all horrible bigots. Like, well, fuck you then. Thanks for wasting my fucking time. But I think these, even though it's just a few guys, I think this is a really positive step. You know, um, and because this is just how human nature is. These guys, these few pioneers, take these first steps, and that opens the door for others. You know, and it's important that you know that our men stand behind us and support us. You know, so because doing anything else is just a cop out. Um, I don't want to date a guy who's so afraid of what others will think that he will hurt me. You know, that's just wasting my fucking time and hurting me. And I've absorbed enough pain and abuse. I don't need any more. You know. And I would hope that every other trans woman out there um, understands their own value and their own worth in that way. To not accept that kind of bullshit. So, but yeah, I think this is great. More power to them. I'm happy that finally some people are starting to come out and not only talk about how that they are attracted to us and why, but to also at least two of the three that I'm aware of are also advocating for us, highlighting trans issues and trying to be supportive of the community, the trans community. Because it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you be? You know, trans women face specific challenges, but we also face the challenges of cis women being sexually harassed, sexually assaulted. I've been sexually harassed. So we have to deal with all of that too. I've had guys attracted to me and then they find out I'm trans and they will stick the knife in as far as they can and try to twist it as much as they can. And these men are chicken shits, and they're usually when they do that shit, they're doing it to live up to someone else's expectations, i.e. that toxic masculinity. So that's what that is. That's someone imposing their own sense of morality or whatever on you. Now you can either be cool and say, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want, or you can be a big fucking chicken shit weenie and, comply with them and fall in lockstep with the people who are trying to prevent you from doing what you want to do. I mean, how I talk and how I act, I've always been like this. Not when I was a little kid, but when I got older and I was like, you know what, and I would call people out on their bullshit. I never gave in, even at jobs, and I made enemies, but it's like I'm not willing to compromise my values and my understanding and knowledge just in deference of some idiot. That's why the world has become what it's become, because smart people have been paying deference to the stupid, the terminally stupid, for too long. So, yeah, you just, you can't, I should say, you shouldn't live your life trying to meet other people's expectations, or trying to fit into someone else's box. You should try freeing yourself from the notion that you must be in a box. Be a pioneer instead. And that's what these guys are doing by coming out and being honest and being themselves. They're now at our level in that way. They've exposed themselves to ridicule as well. And in doing so, they have helped to support our community. Because the more people come out and advocate for us openly with their faces and their voices, the less we can be denied. And that's the goal, is to get to a point where we are so strong, there are so many of us, we have so many supporters, we have so many people whom honestly love us, that our rights as human beings cannot be denied. That's the goal. And that's why it's important for you, Mr. Trans-attracted man, or trans-amorous man, or whatever you want to call yourself. That's why it's important that you get out there with your face and your voice and you say, I like these people too. And just be there for us. Because it's wrong of you to use us, generally for sex, and then hide us, and then deny our very existence. Because that's what the world's been doing to us for so long. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, thanks for watching.